Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here with more advice for magicians. Now in the last video, if you guys haven't watched it already, I suggest you do so. I talked about the concept of pre-show work in dual reality and this whole slippery slope thing where, you know, if we allow certain pre-show work and certain video edits and stuff, at what point does it start to snowball into stooging and just magic being fake in general, or using green screens or whatever? So in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about the concept of using stooges. At what point is using a stooge okay, and at what point is using a stooge just ridiculous? So let's use an example of a magician that I'm sure we all know who I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. He is the self-proclaimed king of social media magic. Speaking, of course, about Jabrizi. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer here. If I get a lot of hate comments on Jabrizi in the comment section, or any like threats or just ad hominem attacks on Jabrizi's character, those comments will instantly be deleted, and you run the risk, depending on the mood I'm in, of getting banned from my YouTube channel. Because one thing I am not okay with is the bullying. So I don't want this video to turn into a Jabrizi hate video. I want this to be a constructive critique on Jabrizi's performance style, specifically when it comes to his social media, okay? I just want to make that clear. Good? Good. So let's talk about stooges. There are a couple different ways to use stooges. You can instantly stooge a spectator right on stage with you, or you just give them a little wink, and now they kind of understand that they're in on the secret. That's probably the softest form of a stooge. For example, when I'm doing my sponge ball routine, I'll take a sponge ball, I'll do a false transfer, I'll take the other sponge ball, and then I'll hand spectator number 1 2 sponges. Of course, they think that they just have one, and they think that I have one. I'll then look at the second spectator, spectator number 2. I'll say, you hold out your hand. I pretend to give them a sponge ball, and I close their hand, and I say, keep your hand closed just like this. I give them a little wink, right? I've essentially told them, just play along. We're going to do this little thing together, and we're going to make them all freak out. That's an instant stooge. Again, that's like the softest form of stooging. I gave them a little taste of what it's like to be behind the scenes and to see a little bit of the secret, right? But they're still getting a magical effect because they still have no idea how that person got the other sponge ball in their hand. So they're not completely in on the routine. They're just in on a little part of it. Now, the second way that you can stooge someone is by having a proper stooge with you, someone that you coached, whether it be a spectator in the audience that you coached before the routine started, and you told them exactly what to say and how to react, or it could be an assistant of yours, someone that you actually brought in on your production that's going to help you achieve whatever effect it is that you need to achieve. So an example of this would be like in the movie The Prestige. I'm sure you guys have seen the movie The Prestige. If you haven't, it's really good, really well done. One of my favorite movies on magic. There's a scene right at the beginning where Ricky Jay, the Ricky Jay, is actually a magician that is going to put his assistant into this water torture escape thing. Ricky Jay then asks for 2 random spectators from the audience to come up, inspect the box, and to lock it all up and put the assistant in ropes and all of that stuff. In order to be safe, rather than having 2 random spectators come up and actually restrain the assistant, he has 2 stooges come up to do it. 2 different stooges that they're other magicians. They come up and they pretend to just be laymen that don't know what they're doing and tying the rope and locking all the stuff up and all that stuff, right? I won't spoil what happens in case you haven't seen the film, but essentially that's the gist of it. So in that case, those are proper stooges. Those are people that were put into the audience. You might have heard the term plants like they were planted in the audience, right? Or Confederates, or whatever term you want, right? But these people are not just laymen. They are actors that are pretending to be laymen, but in reality, they're your assistants. That's the second degree of stooging. So we have instant stooge, where you just kind of nudge, nudge, wink, wink at someone, right? Let them in on a little taste of the secret, but you don't spoil it for them entirely. The next step up, you have someone that knows all of the secrets that is working for you. Now here's the controversial bit. Step 3, I think most people draw the line between step 2 and step 3, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Step 3 now is where you are coaching your spectators on how to react. So for example, let's just say I'm going to be doing a street magic video and I have like 3 or 4 people in front of the camera and I'm the magician and I'm going to perform for these 3 or 4 people. Now my target audience is the people on the other side of the computer screen, people that are watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, right? The people that are here in the video are my stooges, but they're going to react as if they're regular people on the street that I just saw. So maybe I might walk up to them and say, hey guys, I'm going to do this trick where like I'm going to change like a 5 of clubs into like a 7 of hearts, right? I need you guys to react and go freaking crazy. Like you might even not see the change. Like I'm going to do the change for the camera, and even if you don't see anything, just freak out, react, grab your junk and run around in a circle or whatever you got to do. And this video is going to go viral and you guys are going to have an opportunity to be famous. So what I've just done now is I've just coached the spectators on how to react to the camera so that the audience that is on the other side of the camera, aka the audience watching at home on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, feel like the reaction was real. Now, certain magicians, again, I'm going to say Jabrizi for this specific example because he's probably the most known person for this, but he's not the only one. Okay, you have other magicians like Julius Dean, Paul Vu. These guys are doing this similar idea too, where they will coach the spectators on how to react, and in many cases even place the props in the spectators' hands and just say, hey, I'm going to hand you this prop, make sure you don't turn it around, because if you do, the camera is going to see the backside of that prop and it's going to ruin the illusion. I know you're seeing the backside of the prop and the illusion's being ruined for you, but you're just going to act like you don't see the backside of the prop and like the illusion wasn't ruined. So now here's my question. At what point is it okay to say, I'm going to have fake audience members in the audience come up, they're going to pretend to be an audience member, but they're going to come up on stage with me and they're actually going to manipulate my props, they're going to do sleight of hand, they're going to do the dirty work for me without the audience knowing. At what point is that okay? And at what point is it not okay to do that exact same thing, but for the camera? Right? If your question is, someone's getting shot outside. No, we're good. It's just fireworks. Sorry, I'm like in the middle of Pomona right now, so. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So at what point is it okay for you to have stooges come up from the audience to help you out versus having stooges help you out for a video? I've seen a lot of magicians who claim that this is the worst thing for magic. It's wrong. It's terrible that Jabrizi and Paul Vu and Julius Dean and all these guys are doing this stuff. And some of these same magicians are using stooges in their show. And their excuse is, well, it's different because I'm not stooging the whole audience. I'm just stooging one person. So now let me ask you this. If Julius Dean was to do a Rubik's Cube trick for just one person, but that one person was in on it, and he's performing for the camera, is that okay? Because it's just one person. And now some magicians might say, no, but that's his whole audience. Like that one person, he's performing for that one person. Is he though? Remember, he's not performing for that one person. That one person is a stand-in for you, the audience, you guys on the other side of the screen. This person here that he's performing for is just a stand-in for you because you're not able to physically be here because you're watching it on a video. So in fact, the true audience isn't the people that you see in the video. The true audience is you guys at home, again, watching on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or whatever. So now my question to you guys is, at what point is stooging okay? At what point does stooging cross the line? Leave a comment below and let me know. And again, I'm going to say this one more time. Please don't troll the comment section. Please don't spam Jabrizi hate or hate on any other magicians that you think are doing this exposure thing or doing this stooging thing or whatever. Now, actually, talking about exposure, that is another video for another time that I'd like to talk about. I already did some videos on Is YouTube Ruining Magic, so if you guys haven't gotten the opportunity to check that out, I suggest you do so. Again, I'm gonna leave it in the comment section below for you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. I really hope that these little videos are getting your getting your brain going a little bit, kind of thinking about some of these things. These are some of the things that I think of, and I just thought that'd be interesting to share with you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'll catch you with more advice from magicians. Take care.